Welcome back, everybody. Episode 16 of Valheim, Slow and Easy, with your host, Hank, the slowest and easiest guy you'll ever meet. That's not true. I'm a very difficult puzzle. Slow and hard. Boring and hard. Okay. All right. Hey, everybody. 16 here. So we are continuing our steel mining, or iron mining, I think is what it's called, adventure. If you recall the last episode, I left you sitting right over here. We had just done like half of it or something, and I didn't want to bore you with all the tedious axe swinging required to do these other two dungs, and I've partially done this third dung, so I've gone ahead and left you out of it, but it's okay. It was for your benefit, so you didn't have to watch me do this one. We got 67 out of that one. We got 179 out of this one. What a crazy difference. Isn't that nuts? I even went back here and ran around just to make sure I didn't miss something. But this was a huge one. I also went and did these scraps down here. There's a couple extras up here. So the plan is to finish this fourth one and then gather up all these iron ores and then move them all over here to the dung back base, then go get a boat. I don't know how far the boat travels. A little slow, fun but slow in terms of like an hour-long gaming video. So we're not going to complete the whole project today, and then we're going to do a lot of driving around and picking up not just this huge pile we're about to build, but also there's a gigantic pile of black metal here. I think there might even be some over here. There's a ton of metal I've got stored all around this area, and even, you know, some few smaller ones. But I know there's at least one big one over here. So that's the plan. Welcome to the show. Please fall asleep. I want to market this show as the show you can fall asleep to. Not because it's boring, but because it's safe. It's nice to feel safe, isn't it, kids? What if I start changing my shoes, feeding my fish? Mr. Rogers episode reference there. That's fun. Old-timey. You got to be over the age of 100 to know what I'm talking about. That's not true. All right, so last two episodes, I messed up my audio. I'm just going to say this before I get moving here. Well, fuck it. I'll just get moving while I say this. Okay, so I already got 26 out. So I've already done the rightmost path here. It was medium extensive, which means we might still encounter some major... You know, there's still going to be some stuff going on. I already hear bees a-buzzing. So, I have these headphones. They have a wire thing that's kind of obnoxious, so I have a different wire hookup that's twisted around it. And they're nice quality. And I love hearing the game audio through the headphones. Hang on, I got to murder a blob. Oop. I should have eaten... Oh, gosh. The arrow ones can cause issues when you're... Hey. I like the slick back hair look, though. That's pretty cool. Oh, yeah, there's a spawner. It's what's making all that bee sound. Okay. This isn't that complicated, but... I have a mixing board with some knobs, and if I crank up one of the knobs, the headphones give me the game audio. But I also like hearing my voice from the speaker. Something about talking into the microphone, and I like to hear my voice. But when you're talking into the microphone without hearing your voice and you have headphones on, it's just a little goofy. And so it's just nice to sort of get that immediate sound of your own voice in the headphones. And so... Ideally, I would be able to have these headphones play both the game and the microphone audio real time. But when I have it, I think it's because the mixing board is old. It's an older type. There might be a way to set it up so I can. I've tinkered and I can't figure it out. I've looked it up. And I'm pretty sure newer mixing boards have a thing called two-way audio or something where the computer signal doesn't interfere. I don't know. I'm not even that confident it'll be that easy to fix. I know it's technologically doable since we have landed human beings on the moon. But Yeah, anyway, the point is, in the last 2 episodes, I didn't have my damn knob turned down. And then the alternative is that I hook up this white Apple, old kind of, but it's like the plastic Mac Apple earbuds into my knob device, which is the speaker control, right? And it has a headphone jack. So that bypasses the mixing board. But if I don't, and I did that yesterday, I've made this mistake a bunch of times. It's so frustrating when you realize you've just done 2 hours of recording and then you futzed up the audio. Because what it does is it feeds the game audio into the mic recording track, and then you can kind of hear the game audio, like it's identifiable, but it's also muddled, so it's like all mixed in with your voice while you're playing. Super annoying. Come on, get off that mountain up there. What are you doing up there? You're gonna fall and hoit yourself. You don't want to hoit yourself. I'll hurt yourself. Uh-oh. It's got the high ground. Oh, come on. What the fuck? I'm gonna shoot this thing with arrows. Oh, how does the uppercut not... That's it. That's it. We're chopping you down. Get off that bunk bed, mister. It's time to eat your Cheetos. Eat your Cheeto cereal. Okay. So, the compromise... It works fine when I have it done correctly. The knob is down. I just tested it. It's all the way down. Confirmed would have been a better word. And, but I don't like... The earbuds in the headphones gets uncomfortable. They're plastic. Even non-plastic ones would probably get uncomfortable with headphones on. And their quality is not as good. So, ultimately, when my budget changes, and I'm a very long way from that, I hope to be able to get a newer mixing board. I still haven't found that, when you're trying to solve some issue on the internet, looking for tutorials or chat things like Reddit threads and shit, and you're just looking up technical, troubleshooting words, and you find the exact right problem, and someone else has already sort of figured it all out, and you're like, oh, that's the answer, that's gonna work, and it works. That happens all the time, and it hasn't yet happened for the problem I'm having. And there's also like virtual things you can set up inside the computer too, like virtual outputs and crap. So it's definitely something others have dealt with. So the solution is out there. I do think a newer mixing board might be the answer. So I just got to be more diligent. I was all ready to get going yesterday, and I goofed it up, but I'm feeling good. Okay, that's the chat about all that. Turn on the game audio a little bit. It's messing up my thoughts a bit. So yeah, we'll hopefully eventually never make that. Oh no, that's not the end of the chat about that. So I had this messed up audio. You've already heard it if you're watching this in order. I might drop in and explain that there was an issue. I haven't edited those yet, so you know more than I do since you're from my future. But a lot of stuff can be done to fix it. I've done a lot of audio podcast editing and a lot of, tons of video editing, obviously. And so I got years of experience with this stuff, although I'm not an audio expert. There's a whole technical side to being an audio dude that is a little past me. I'm better than your average schmuck with it for sure. And I could teach a beginner how to not be, the worst at it. But I also am aware of my lack of proper expertise. Anyway, I went and did some of the things, and there's a new Premiere. As much as I hate Adobe for its subscription model, which I find to be just totally exploitative, $60 a month, $7,200 a decade for software that's buggy, and for like it should be, there should be like one mistake every 5 years, not constant mistakes all the time. You're constantly troubleshooting, and it's gotten better over the years, I think, a little bit. I don't actually hate Premiere Pro 2024. I might even try to upgrade the documentary, because all the documentary is still in Premiere 2021, but that's a gigantic thing, and it'll mess up some stuff, and changing the software for in the middle of a project is risky. I might just experiment with a couple of the project files to see if it works. But anyway, the newer 2024 has some audio. So among the things that these companies have improved on is audio processing, auto transcribing, and stuff like that. At the Young Turks in 2019, when I was doing the union organizing, we needed to do transcripts, and they were paying. And this isn't a knock on TOT, but like there was this like expensive software that we used for transcribing, and it still required that we input a transcript, and then we had to like manually like space not every single, but it was just this, and it was some company that was charging crazy amounts of money because it was sort of an industry program, and it's just nuts that was a thing. And I'm sure that type of ripping off people was wrecked by the auto transcribing. So anyway, what am I getting at? Their Premiere Pro 2024 has an AI tool that processes your. This isn't generative AI that steals from people. I know that I'm in a very anti-AI. I'm trying to not let it become a fervor. I think we have to be nuanced about it in terms of our own perception. But I think it is a horror. I think AI is absolutely the complete recklessness with which we're just allowing the worst people in the world to go run wild with it. The inability of our legislative bodies to even address it because first of all they're bought off, and second of all they're all old as hell. We're in big trouble with this AI stuff, with its potential to eliminate human labor and replace it with robot and computer labor. They never needed your humanity. They only ever needed your ability to organize particles and information. That's all labor is. People overthink it. What the hell am I doing here? So a little part of me doesn't want to use any AI tools ever, which I think is a ridiculous kind of limit to place on yourself. I got to be competitive. But so this is just an AI processing thing that does audio processing. And it works pretty well. The Premiere Pro 2024, it takes a little while to do a whole hour, but I was able to get the audio to a listenable state. It definitely doesn't sound as good as it would if you just not messed it up to start, but way better than the original. Really impressive, actually. And then with some other stuff, I did a parametric equalizer with cutting off the bass on the low end and then tinkering with some of the frequency ranges and shit. So then I realized I see in some forum that there's a V2 for this Adobe thing, that you have to upload your file, and it's a real Adobe site. I made sure it wasn't a scam. All right, good. I can empty that box. I try to sort of gather up my shite and either bring it all the way out or stage it close by if I can figure out how to get back. Is this the way back? Yes. Okay. Like if there was a box there, but since we're so close to the exit, we'll just haul that stuff out. And so I decided to test that out. See what would happen. Oops. That's the sound of the Surtlings dying the moment they are born. They're just born into fire. And by fire, I mean water, because they're made of fire. And as we all know, water is the mortal enemy of fire. Fire is the mortal enemy of water. It's like a stupid science teacher would say shit like that. And so I uploaded it. I converted it to an MP3, so I wasn't uploading like a gigantic WAV file that's like 1.5 gigs or something. And really impressive, really simple interface. He just a couple of sliders. I can find the interface. Although I didn't want it to be complex, it could have been a bit more complicated in a sense because it needed to. I don't know. Whatever. I had some notes about the interface, but it worked really well though. You could still move. Reduce the background noise, change the intensity of that slider, and then the other. There's two sliders. What am I getting? So I downloaded both of those and I did some testing. And then as I'm loading up DaVinci, I'm really trying to keep myself busy with these projects. You know, I take breaks here and there, of course, but it's really just my mental kind of, like, it's like I can't necessarily force myself to work, but I can keep my plane in enough, like my flight plane, like, you know, my airplane, like I can, it's like I'm always on the wings repairing and doing work on the engine while the plane flies. And as long as I do enough of that, I just work all day. As long as I take the, you know, do the things I got to do and not get lost in my head dungeon, because that's what happens a lot, or get exhausted. And it's mainly about managing energy. All right, so that middle one is done. Let's take the yellow mushroom out of there. So as long as I sort of keep my plane flight capable, I'm able to function pretty well in terms of this stuff, maybe. And it comes in spurts, and I have a lot of stuff I got to do for the big project. You know what I'm talking about, the big project. And I do need to go get rested. That is a big difference in terms of this phase. Oh, God damn it. Look at him. He's got the advantage. How am I not hitting him? Just because it's like slightly up on a rock? Give me a break. You get down here and fight me at lower than where you were. My character is at least 5'3". He's a short king. No, I don't know. He's probably a hefty 5'10". So was I saying? Oh yeah. So I was trying to really get a lot done yesterday, and testing DaVinci, you know, or doing the audio fixing, and I was aware of the full release of DaVinci 2020 version 20. I was editing all on version 19, and I had because the beta for 20 had come out, and it promises keyframe editor, a keyframe timeline, a major upgrade from its clunky, kind of messy way of doing keyframes. And the DaVinci community is real excited about it, because, you know, news of it was out like a month or two ago with the beta release. I had even looked up, when does the full version come out? Because I don't know if I want to risk it with the beta. Those are usually a little more unstable. And found some stuff, people saying, oh, this last release 17 beta, and then it was like, you know, 90, not 90, that's too many, 20 weeks before the 17 full, and then 18 beta, and then this much time, and then they, like, all of a sudden the 20 beta, or the 20 full. So I was expecting the full. Why do I think anybody would want to listen to this? The full release of 20 was not scheduled, but I was like, okay, well, maybe this fall it'll come out. And then there's a notice on my thing says, hey, the 20 full release is available. Because I want that keyframe editor. I'm a keyframe guy. I'm really good at motion graphics. I'm really solid on Premiere Pro and After Effects, both of which do motion graphics. They do quite a few things better than DaVinci, if only they weren't buggy, slow software and this rip-off pricing model. I have spent over $10,000 to Adobe over the years. But, all right, you know what? Though we're done with this, so I'll just keep rambling while we exit the dungeon. But, yeah, look, this was a short one, this wing. So I decide, okay, well, I got to do it. I want to, now that the 20 full release is out, and there'll be little minor updates here and there. Listen to those bastards die. Their first and final scream. Wouldn't it suck if your first scream was also your final scream? That is a real horror right there, isn't it? I feel like if I was Stephen King's nephew, I would text him that. Okay, sorry. I almost just got totally lost talking about being Stephen King's nephew. All right, good. 450. So, wait a minute. I don't gotta bring all this crap. Place, stacks. Nope. Just all this junk. And then take metal. Okay. What am I doing here? Okay. I'm doing this all in the wrong order. So Oh yeah, we already are close to it, so we'll just. Okay, so now the chore is to just. There's a little bit of iron left here, and then we're gonna do a bunch of running around to get stuff staged over by the shoreline for when we bring the boat. How we doing in hours here? Hold on a second. I got to tab out. Look at the 20 minutes. Okay, cool. And so, as I'm finally getting closer to, like, you know, loading up my 2 exports from one downloaded from the podcast.adobe.com and one exported from Premiere Pro 2024, because wasn't quite sure if I wanted either one of them. I decided to update the editing software I'm using, DaVinci. So I got to back up the library, back up the project files. Or back up the database, the project database. That's the phrase I'm looking for. This guy likes his wee-wee wet. I like your wee-wee dead. That's what I say. A dead wee-wee is a good wee-wee. Oh. There you go. Okay. Man, these are some real rambly dudes. They're all just wandering around causing chaos. What? Take another one. Okay. And there's not much more to this story, but I was eager to test out those 2 files to see if the sound fix sounded good. It's so much better than I was almost on. Yeah, I probably would have. I had a backup recording, which is this camera that I'm pointing at. That has a microphone on it. In a pinch, it's fine, meaning like it does record human voices. It records English. And that's right. Okay, jeez, this talking is really messing up my mojo. I want to go get rested. That's the thing I'm missing here. But let's grab. Might as well take a haul back. A batch of loot. I love loot. It's easier to get loot in video games than it is in real life. I tried to start a business using found loot from the streets called Bum Rush Industries. Building shit stools out of found furniture. And the whole story ended in disaster. But, so... Oh yeah, they also upgraded the mouse. My old mouse died. I have this nice mouse. And it was starting to, like... double click without me double clicking and doing other stuff, and I tried to clean it and I tried to troubleshoot it, and it was just, it's years old and I've used the hell out of it, and a mouse is like a video editor's lightsaber, you know what I mean? So I thought it was like $90, and I was dismayed at having to spend that much money if I needed it, so I probably wouldn't have. But then it was only $40, and I did buy it, even though it's still kind of a lot of money for me. But sadly, but so I got a newer mouse, but then I had to mess with the software. Fucking Logitech. It's like, come on, Logitech, what the hell? Can't just auto recognize that the mouse is the same. Just switch it to the profile thing, because it's got like a profile switcher, so you can change the DPI. There are times, look, I'm gonna go real slow right now. Watch, I got it down to low DPI. See how it's like. I could even go way slower than this. This is almost quick. But like, I'm moving my mouse a ton right now, like all the way over. Terrible video editing, and now I'm gonna go back. I like it on a nice snappy one because I barely flick my fingers, barely move my hand. So high DPI. Oh yeah, arrows. Okay, let's go back. How's my food? Yeah. Good enough. Good enough. And so real just doing stuff yesterday. But yeah, updating the DaVinci software. You're never quite sure if stuff's going to be messed up. It worked fine. It seemed as stable as the others, and that's cool. We like that. And I finally, I set up the sound thing. I didn't do the export, but I messed around a little bit with the timelines that I have set up for these Suck Professor edits. As annoying as it is that the sound is crapped out on those last 2 episodes, I'm glad I was able to rescue it, because it really did a great job comparative to the original. So where are we here? Let's go. Well, we'll gather those up in a second. All right, let me. So where are we at? Where are we at? Okay. Okay. We're gonna go down here. These are pretty close to each other, though. This is all pretty straightforward. I think there's a damn blob. Let's use my Ecothere juice. Oh, that's right. I meant to grab some onion soup for better stamina. Okay. And I've been updating my hotkeys a bit too, trying to use the mouse less in editing. Oops, that's not what I want to do. Which is important and good. Saves a lot of time, just makes things a little easier. And I've been doing just jumping to the next edit or going backwards in my program. Instead of using the mouse to navigate, I'm trying to like navigate along the timeline without using the mouse a bit more. Changing hotkeys can kind of take a bit of getting used to, but I adapt pretty fast. But I was really eager to get into that. All right, let me just do it. Let's go over here, check up. Look at all these guys. We've had multiple rounds of generation. They just die and they leave their stuff. Skeleton, get burned. Look, you ran right through the fire. I suppose when you have no flesh to burn, fire is less of a concern. Except bones are flammable. As we all know. There it is. And yet I didn't really want to just barely mess with the timeline with the keyframe editor. This is like a big deal, this keyframe editor. And so I decide, okay, I gotta see it. I gotta try it. And I have my little Suck Professor thing. The spinny thing that's at the bottom. Let me point to it. It's right over there. No. Right over there. There we go. It's that way. I have it like move and it hits. I just screwing around, and I load it up and I've seen the tutorials already, so I know there's the menu button for the new keyframe editor, and I load it, and it's horrible. You can't see the timeline, the keyframe in the timeline. It lays out all these different layers that are fine, although still unnecessary. It's just nothing like, just do it just like Premiere. Do it close to Premiere. Maybe a little bit or more like After Effects would be better, but like, and then like, I don't know, it just was unintuitive. The thing was like, I had it like moving slowly, and yet there was no indication of the splines or Bezier handles or anything. So obviously something I'm missing. So now I got to go watch tutorials, and I looked it up, and other people have issues with it. It's like, come on. Come on. DaVinci, you guys are so close. You guys do a good job. And then some people are complaining about their lack of good job. They do seem to, there's other stuff with the way it handles native resolutions of footage and compound clips. Like it kind of, DaVinci didn't originate as a editing company. It's a company's name is Black Magic Design, I think is the full name. And they do like cameras and color correction. And so the original software was, I think, just a color correcting thing. And they started to do mild editing. And It's so smooth, and there's lots I really, really like about the way the program runs. But damn it, there are some frustrating things to it. Can we get marker universality, a term I made up, please? So you have like a clip. You cut it into a whole bunch of different spots. Same file. You reuse that exact little chunk, the clip of the larger source file. And then you place a marker on one of those clips. In Premiere, it puts a marker on all of the instances at the exact same time code. That's helpful. Sometimes you need it so that you can match ones when you're inserting into something and you want to split it and put something between them, but then you end up going back and returning it, and it's a great way to know that you're at the exact same time code because you have a split marker. There's just ways that they could do better. They just gotta listen to me, man. I gotta get my fan on here. Hold on a second. Hold on. Gotta put on these earbuds. Put on my headphones. Okay. Okay. Like having a stack of dimes in your ear. All right, so I'll quit rambling about that. That's what I did yesterday. But it's good to keep some progress going on this because I want to get a bunch of files recorded and stuff to do. So, all right, let me... You know, I'm getting kind of sick of... I got to do something about this. This is just... I think I need 2. Where's the fine wood storage? Nope, those are rocks. Think I would know by now. 10. I'm on a mission. I'm getting real tired. I just need a dang dump box. That'll do. Now I can dump into it and get back to work. Okay, so I want to go Dungy, yes. Oops, I had meant to turn around and go get onion soup, but I think it's fine. We're close enough. These things aren't very far. So I'm eager for Da Vinci to fix that stuff. It seems like there's enough people that find it annoying. I know I could do the math, but... Alright, so now we're just going to make sure we... Swimming? Roommate and I watched Sinners. Roommate's name is James. He's a character on the channel here. But, yeah, we had some opinions. I think I'll share maybe some other, I don't want to spoil anything. I will say the phenomenon of high expectations can really, well, it can ruin a film, but it's so interesting. I mean this more broadly about all movies, kind of related to my spoiler sensitivities in terms of seeing a film without knowing anything about it. There's like the purity notion of literally knowing nothing, not the name, not anything, not even what it is, not the genre. Like being blindfolded and then opening a tin can and dumping it in your face, right? That's about the most extreme you can do. Okay, so and I knew the name of it. I had seen a little bit of the photos, but I'd sort of play this game with the world where if I see something and I get a sense that it's a good movie and I see people reacting and I kind of decide I embargo. In my brain I sort of just decide I don't do this with every movie by any stretch. You drive yourself mad doing it. But Sinners was one of those that I tried to avoid knowing anything about. Even like reading it, so it popped up on Amazon as a rental or something, and I accidentally read the first few words of the description because your brain I just looked at it and saw it and I went, oh damn it, I didn't mean to. And then all right, let's go down to the lower one just to check. I think I cleared it, but I'm not being very... I'm a lot more focused on this game when I'm not also recording, so I screw up more when I'm hanging out with my friends. And but yeah, expectations. I'd seen a lot of stuff about that movie being really high quality, and so it's funny how that works, though, because everybody is going to process that differently too, in terms of what will their expectation generator come up with in terms of hearing about something, word of mouth / seeing reviews or just people, chattering about it or whatever. You catch these little like mosquito kisses of information. And why did they say mosquito kiss? I should have said butterfly wing kiss. Would you rather have a butterfly kiss you with its lips or its wings? Butterflies. It's funny that those are the sexy bug. Like, bugs are gross, but there's a couple bugs that were like, well, that bug is sexy. And they have to be pretty. They have to look like flowers in order for us. And there's even some really amazing moths. I feel like beetles, being such a wide range, they're like, aren't they the most populous type of bug in terms of different species and stuff? Some of those things are absolutely fantastic on the nominalists, but there's also some ones that are just like, whoa, good, what the fuck? All right, we'll go to the middle one here. So, beetles, there's the blue ones, the green ones, the metallic colors. You're like, well, he was just talking about something else. So you catch these little moth BJs of information that come into your brain from the internet. It's not like I'm out there talking to humans. I don't go near anybody. I avoid people like the plague because people carry the plague. Oh, I already did that one. Okay, cool. So we can check off the 67. I don't have the total for this one. I do like to kind of keep a record. Good record keeping is a sign of... I can even leave the chest. Why not? Close those. So now we got the big one up there. This is going to take a bunch of runs. I could do a cart. I could do it all at one slow walk. Look at that. Look at that. 30 times 6 is 180 minus 1. And yeah, expectations, that's right. So like, yeah, you mentally, you kind of know what you're in for. Say it's a roller coaster. Turns out to not be a roller coaster. You'll be like, hey, I thought this was a roller coaster. You're like, nope, it's Benihana, idiot. You go, I mean, I like Benihana, but I was expecting a roller coaster. Have you ever reached for... You're having breakfast and you've reached for the orange juice and you take a nice swig and it's milk? That is one of the most horrifying experiences. Or flip it. You think you're drinking milk, but it's orange juice? By the way, how often have you had that like luxurious moment of having both milk and orange juice in one breakfast? I think I might have had that once in my whole life. But nevertheless, we've all had a moment like that. Sometimes like you're eating food and there's a bone or a gristle. Oh yeah, this is a thing I built that I didn't even want. This is where I was just, yeah. Did I do this? Did you see me do this? Just take some of it. Get some of it down there. Oh, jeez, it's all just so lightweight. So it's that preparation. It's that feeling of, or that intuitive. It happens so, you know, it's not much of your consciousness. You're over the jump. Still got me. It's not like you're really processing that idea of expectation. Some sweet, slightly citrusy, a little bit tangy. How do you even describe citrus? Delicious orange flavor. I love a good orange flavor. And then it's this creamy, white, disgusting... Whoa, milk! Your body goes, I have been violated. This is a tragedy. I'm going to talk about this on my podcast in 17 plus years or more. Everybody's had that happen. Look at that arrow go whizzing by me. Your aim sucks. These guys usually do have pretty good aim. They're a little predictable, but... So that orange juice milk divide functions the same with films. And it really does throw you for a loop. And it's an important part of the whole thing. I mean, I guess that's what all marketing does, I guess, in a sense, is prime you for an experience that you're being promised or expecting. Or maybe not promised precisely, but... Uh-oh, don't want to get too close to that. I would probably be eventually doing some spawner hanging out at the spawners to level up your weapon skills and stuff. Those guys are being born out of their shit piles, and they're expecting to live. And then there's just some monster standing by, eating them. I'm the monster in this one here. Like popcorn, just standing there. Oh, another one. Like having a robin, having a bird just lay its eggs directly into your mouth. Unfortunate day for the robin. Great day for you. The robin egg eater. See, that's another thing I would text to Stephen King. My uncle. All right. Now we go back down. I am going to run over there to that chest just because there's some shite. Nah, actually, I think it's heavier stuff. Genuinely don't need to grab literally any of it. Like, I don't have enough junk. I do have some base updates. I know in the last couple of episodes, or episode 14, you got to watch me build a platform out, and it does feel good to have the base, the upper layer now connected as a loop. It's not fully upper layered. I might mess around a little bit with some of the design there, but I'm really liking... Oh, God damn it, I did it at an accident. Oh, son of a bitch. Oh, a couple of big toughs, huh? I'm the big tough around here. Uh-oh. No, I just wrecked my base. Oh, shit. My toughness backfired. Okay, well, we'll come back. That's why low expectations is usually better than high expectations. Not to say that it's always that simplistic, but with a movie or something. Like if I had expected a very bad movie, I probably wouldn't have walked out on Mission to Mars by Brian De Palma. You're seriously going to make me watch Tim Robbins have uncomfortable interactions in a spacesuit? Get out of here. Get the hell out of here, Brian De Palma. I'm not falling for this one again. Brian De Palma. I don't know what I'm doing. Hold on. Let's just go do this, get rested. Since we're heading home. So low expectations with the movie, and then you're surprised. Like, wow, this movie was not bad. This was over my expectation. I didn't expect a bright, iridescently green beetle. I expected a boring, ugly brown beetle. I just expected some junk-ass, regular-ass beetle. I didn't expect to see a beetle making a tennis ball out of shit, pushing it around with impressive strength and charisma. Who knew there was a charismatic beetle making shit tennis balls, huh? I just expected a regular-ass dumb brown beetle to be doing nothing. Nothing with poop. Not even making any kind of shapes. Not in a square, not a rhombus. Trapezoid, not even a toroid. See, expectation changes everything. What were you promised? I think in life, we should expect a lot more than what we actually get. They got us to lower our expectations, and then they underdeliver. BS, I say. You heard me. You heard me say it. That's right. I said it. Oh, I thought these were this one. Oh, God. Oh, good. I did get rid of it. All right. I'm going to head up here. I hate this base, honestly. This fucking base is horrible. Actually, there's parts I really like, but there's also like a feeling of just chaos and disorder. This is where I get Comfort 12. If you look at the upper right-hand corner of your iPad, you'll see it. Yeah. So we got a lot of boat traveling to do. I think the boat's down here at the boat place. And I also want to investigate this. I'm not sure we're going to do that right now, but this is just, I'm just mentioning it to get you ready for the plan when I eventually execute phase 17 of building a harbor on this lake here. So that'll be fun. Got that to look forward to. Okay. Oh yeah, I'm not even using my Ecothere powers. Like a freaking moron. They should have named it the iron ore hauling powers. Okay, we go up north. Give me that. Give me that glowy fruit thingy. I didn't expect to see a beetle moving slowly through the air and then suddenly light up like a light bulb, suddenly produce fucking literal electricity, photons that hit me in the face into my electron capturing devices. I didn't expect that. I expected that boring ass brown beetle to land on Mama's shoulder and make a little beetle poop on her blouse. Mama, you got beetle poop on your blouse. Oh no! She gets up and like runs inside, but she trips and lands in the fire. And you tell that story at her funeral. Why did I say that? That's sad. That took it bad. Those fireflies are fucking beetles that glow. Bioluminescence. Talk about having some riz, huh? And then there's the ones on the ground. Is it the males in the air making the glowing? I don't have time for you. I've got important businessman meetings to attend. Okay? Those beetles are so cool. We call them fireflies. Oh, I came here again on accident. Do I have any excess space? I just got to make a single run and... Lightning bugs, we say. My brothers and I, now I know this is one of those things, but at least it didn't happen when we were in our 30s. We were like 8. Our 30s, if you go by months. That's not even... when's your 30s by months? 2.5, 2 to 3? 24 to... Yeah. 36 months would be 3 years old. Why do we stop going by months? What are you, if you're 80? 80 times 12? Oh, God damn it. 824? I'm an 824-month-old. He was very spry for an 824-month-old. Died of chlamydia. See, is that the word that made you fall asleep finally? Chlamydia. All right. Hopefully the algorithm rewards me for that one. Okay. See, that's just such a watery... See, this is where you'd, like, flatten it up with the hoe a bit. Or... I didn't even notice this. For long ages, Odin's eyes was turned on Valheim, yet while the gods ignored it, the other creatures crept or fell through cracks into the forgotten world. Yeah, they're called autism people. Trolls, goblins, and men found their way along these secret paths. Kingdoms rose and fell and are buried beneath the ground. Walker among the dead. You tread a grave with every step. That's why I crab walk instead of... I don't want to go near the damn spawner. So my brothers and I, we would take tennis rackets and hit those lightning bugs and count how many pieces we'd split the light into. Not to say that... Oh, what the hell? Oh, that's the wrong one. Not to say that's what we only did. I just remember doing that. Running around, being a piece of shit little kid. We'd catch them too. Oh, all right. All right, I'll just beat you up the old-fashioned way. I'll fist you to death. There we go. Bloop. But they are impressive creatures, those lightning bugs. It's gotta suck to be a lightning bug who doesn't get laid. To still have the ability, but to not, like, not find a willing partner. You're just like, geez, I'm a lightning bug, and it's still not enough? This is bullshit. I see a wraith. Oh God, it's just so tedious, this whole thing. I should just do the math when I... There we go. I've killed a good decent amount of roots, or whatever those things are called. The big monsters, they're pretty easy for me. I'm developing a lot of blocking confidence. Once you learn their patterns, these bad guys quit being so scary. Shut up. With your cute little steps. Oh, I took my shield off. So you can get surprised. A level 1 can... If your food's low, and you're not even eating good food to begin with, in terms of battle food, and they catch you off guard, and then your stamina, they bump your stamina block thing meter thingy. It happens, man. That's kind of one of the things I like about this game, is it punishes lack of diligence, lack of forbearance. But as I always say, I don't want to get too close to this. Too late. I probably should have switched into the wolf costume, because that thing gives you faster speed. You know, you're more vulnerable because it's less defensive power, but you just fly right past all these bastards. You don't even mess with them. Okay, so we have some capacity freed up here. Look at the Wraith. What are he doing on that tree? Is he writing poetry? Scratching in a little love sonnet, maybe? The simplest poetry of all is a heart. Name, heart emoji. And then another name. Wraith, heart, Wraith. They're the only creatures in the planet that can't 69. They get into the position, and then they go, well, there's nothing down here. What am I supposed to do? I'm not just going to air 69 like some kind of weirdo. Like those guitar goofballs. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Not want to be swimming while a Wraith is on my back. Their hands ain't 69ing. Those things are real as heck. Okay. Now I'd like to meet the ones that have ghost hands but real genitals. Those are a type of Wraith that we'll probably encounter later in the game. If we're lucky. Okay. Look at those fish jumping. I don't really need the wood. I do hate leaving it. It does bother me. Knowing that these are going to be out here. Oh, shit. But do I have any shortage of any of that? No. I mean, I do have some space. Why not? Oh, what the fuck? I thought that was... Oh, for God's sakes. I gotta get better at intuitively. I wish they had like a little button there. You could just go like plus, plus, plus. Like just tap, tap, tap. Just to do 3, you know? Nice and easy. All right, so I'm pretty sure we got it all. You'll see. We'll total everything up. We're at an hour here. We'll head back to the base. That's full. So what's 30 times 10, 300. And then we got 91. So out of these 4 dungeons, we got 91. And these 2 scraps, 391. Not a bad haul. Of course, now we have to begin the tedious process of bringing it all back, which will be what we do in the next video. But I want to just, well, we'll save this for the beginning of the next video since it's maybe a little bit, I don't know why that's the decision I'm making, but it's what I'm deciding. So thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you're having an okay time. Take care of yourself. Hope I didn't screw up the audio. Sometimes I think it's all fine and then I realize I messed up something. And yeah, lots more to do. We're slowly building out our creative projects in this game and in my world. Hopefully you've got some creative projects of your own. It's fun to do stuff with your hands and your thoughts and make things and or tell stories or whatever it is that you do, however it is. Isn't all art just a story? Isn't it just a piece of, I think it is consciousness sharing. I think that's what we should be focusing our world on. Instead of just turning the planet into a luxury production facility for like 1 million assholes, which is the plan for the ultra wealthy have for the earth. That's all they want. They just need the last couple generations of humans to incubate their robot labor force and their, you know, automated factories that just produce luxury for them so they can enjoy this place. It'll be a big zoo for super wealthy. That's all it's going to be. They're going to keep the nice places. It's really scary. Instead, we could just have a huge artistic collective with still some of the same shitty work has to get done, but we could function totally differently on this planet and just have a really cool society filled with happy humans. You'll never get to experience anything beyond another person's joy. If you want to call that God, go ahead, but there ain't nothing beyond that. That's the meaning of life. The meaning of life is to experience the joy of human beings and the beauty of living and being on Earth on this incredible planet with iridescent green beetles and horny glowing beetles and beautiful sexy flower looking ass beetles, including the moths, which are just the earth tone butterflies is what we should call those. Okay? All right. Catch you real soon. We'll pick it up right here. Bye.